Welcome to the Path Monk Presents podcast. My name is Sean Donnelly Lewis, and today we're talking with Dennis Boone. He's the Chief Consumer Marketing and Sales Officer at HandsFreeHealth.com. Dennis, welcome to the show.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, that title's a bit of a mouthful, but
right.
We try to keep it as pointed as possible.
I make sure that when I fall gracefully. So, it's actually taking on big tasks. So anyways, Hands-Free Health. Why don't you tell us what you guys are all about?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a healthcare technology startup, and the unique thing that we do, among other things, is we have a voice-enabled virtual health assistant platform, and that platform is deployable through any number of devices, in particular our smart speaker and smart watch. And basically what a virtual health assistant does, you can think of it like an Alexa with a medical degree. So it's kind of the virtual assistant you're used to, but it delivers health and wellness information to the user so they can just maintain a better, healthier lifestyle, something that I think we all want to do. And this in particular pertains to seniors. So, there's a lot of things that kind of get missed in the health and wellness category. When you kind of age out of it, we're kind of focusing on the back end of that age.
Okay, so very niche, very, very exact audience targets. How have you guys been able to grow the business, right? It seems like, no offense, but I don't know, old people and technology, and right, that's probably a hard sell.
Right, that's the first thing you think of, exactly. How would a senior adopt new technology? The great thing is we're using voice, which not only is incredibly fast adapting, I think Forbes referred to it as a hyper adaptation, but it's also incredibly easy to adapt for anyone at any age. I mean, I have two young boys. They know how to talk to Wellbe, which is our platform. They know how to talk to Alexa and Siri and all of those things. And it's the same with older adults. They quickly and easily pick up how to interact with that technology because it's something they've been doing their whole lives. It's not a new skill you have to learn, typing or pushing on a touch screen. You just ask.
And so you guys growing the business, has it been just referrals? Has it been digital marketing? Are you guys doing active a lot online to grow the business?
Yeah, we go through a number of different channels. Initially a lot of our growth came from who our co-founders are. So our co-founders are former CEO, CFO, and senior VP of Aetna Health, a large healthcare provider in the US. They also were formerly co-founders of a company called Health Advocate. So they had a lot of press kind of leading into this, right? A lot of people interested in what their next act was going to be. But after so long, you can move so long with that, and then you have to start producing, your own products and your own results. So we quickly moved into kind of pushing out our launches. We used a number of different channels to do that. We teamed up with retailers early. We used, organic growth through social. We also used paid advertising. Any way we could get our message in front of the people that we thought would resonate it and ultimately be buyers of our product.
And does the website play a role in acquiring potential clients? Yeah,
absolutely. Website's a big piece of that. It's the anchor, really, so to speak, right? I mean, nowadays, when someone thinks about your company or wants to learn more about your company, they go to your website. So it has to kind of play that role. But we did rely on outside marketing as well. That's kind of I think really the key there. You can't just put a website up and hope that someone's going to come. You really have to start to drive interest and intent.
And so just staying on the website just for a little bit longer, when it comes to a website, like you said, is the hub, it's something that's continual work in progress. When you have such I guess I just wonder, what would you think would be the strength of your website? Is it kind of the ability to convert, the quality of leads, the user experience? Where do you hang your hat? Or where do you think you could improve that?
Yeah. So I think there's, like you said, continual improvement, right? There's always room for improvement. SEO is one of those things, right? You're never satisfied with kind of, where you perform. But, I have something I call the 5 E's of good web design. That is, educate, engage, eliminate, entice, and e-commerce, right? If you can hit those 5 things, your website's going to perform pretty well. I think we've done that, but we have to always go back and reevaluate each of those 5 things. Are we continually educating the people that come to our site? Are we providing them new content? Are we engaging with them? Are our videos fresh? Are our social media posts driving people in? Are we eliminating unnecessary text and page structure and just all those things that bog your website down? Are we enticing our customers? Are we telling a story? Are we letting them know what the product would be like in their hands? And then ultimately, are we closing the deal? We got them there. Can we get them to buy? And that's the e-commerce side.
Great. Just for a second, I was thinking, you got to make sure that you nail the 5 E's, right? If they're if they're gonna be so memorable. Yeah, very good, very good. Now, coming back to what you guys do, just for everyone listening, what would you say would be the main competitive advantage to other people to occupy the same space? I mean, I don't even know. Is there anybody else in this space?
Yeah, there are in certain sense, but our main competitive advantage is that we built our platform on a completely proprietary HIPAA compliant platform. So where other people use skills on Alexa, it's kind of like hijacking an existing platform to do a new service or invention. The problem with that is it's not secure, and I don't mean secure as in it's going to be hacked tomorrow. It's not private. If you're putting medical information on Alexa, it's being treated the same way, when you're putting an order in or you visit a web page and they're going to remarket to you.
Right.
That's their business. That's what they do. They're great at it. It's just not a good place to, park your sensitive medical information.
Right. So when we have marketing people on the show, I really love to pick their brain, because marketing people all work in the same space, but they all tick a little differently, right? They all have a little bit of a different way about them. So thinking about challenges, just from putting on the marketing cap, right? Just thinking, for you in marketing, what is the biggest challenge that comes to your mind when I say innovation?
Yeah, innovation. I think the biggest challenge is keeping up. That's got to be the toughest thing. The great part is everyone's always innovating. We're innovating. Our competitors are innovating. People in different fields that we don't think are related, we find out are innovating. And it's a matter of keeping up with how advertising is changing. How we reach our customers, how our customers become more and more savvy to certain things. So really, I think just kind of, making sure we're keeping pace with everything.
And so just once again, same theme, when I say ROI or return, when I say a couple words, when I say return on investment, what are the kind of challenges you feel like from a marketing perspective when it comes to ROI?
Yeah, I'd say measuring. That's probably the answer everyone gives, right? Yeah. We like to say we have it, and we can give you a great figure for the campaigns that are running well. And for the ones that aren't, we somehow can't measure it. But the reality is it's difficult. In marketing, there's a lot of brand awareness that happens. There's a lot of crossover. We ran digital streaming ads, right? And if someone doesn't plug that promo code in, how do I ever know if that ad impacted them? Those are the kind of things that become immeasurable. Overall, we can kind of look at, the trend lines and decide when certain campaigns came in and how it performed overall, and sort of understand what drove what increase in sales. But measurement's always a challenge for ROI.
And so when it comes to conversion optimization, what would you say is the biggest challenge that comes to your mind?
It's the percentage rate. We can always convert better. You look at a conversion rate of 30%, and there may be some people listening and go, that's fantastic. I'd die for 30%. There's people that listen and go, oh my gosh, that was me 5 years ago before we did X, Y, or Z. It's always kind of continually improving that process and driving that conversion percentage up.
And I'm going to make it really hard. If you could focus on one of the steps to improve the overall marketing process, what would it be? Would it be your road mapping, growth initiatives, not marketing messaging, and reporting? Which one of those do you think? Not speaking specifically for HandsFree, but thinking for you, which one of those stands head and shoulders above the rest?
Messaging. I think messaging stands head and shoulders. That's what drives everything else that you mentioned. if your brand message is solid, if you're resonating with customers or your potential customers, the rest is going to fall into place. So, if I could spend the most time on any of those, it's messaging all the way.
Just to switch gears here a little bit, I want to talk about you as a leader. What type of content do you consume to continue to grow as a person and as a professional?
A lot. A lot of content. All the big things, reading Adweek all the time. I'm also reading, content that is not necessarily related to how to, but just always with that, marketing cap on. Like I like to liken it to, marketers can't watch Super Bowl commercials and enjoy them because they're constantly picking them apart. They're analyzing them. They're thinking about how they could have done it better, or how, what little glimpse they could take from it and put into their own marketing. It's like, as soon as the commercial starts rolling, your mind starts dissecting. And I think that's what I do a lot, so all the content that I read, all the news articles and everything, what I'm really doing as I read it is thinking, how is this person, this individual, or this company conveying their message? And what can I take away from that? What can I learn? Is it something I could take back, or is it kind of a cautionary tale? Don't do that because I can tell right now that's not working. So I'd say that's a lot of, where it comes into play, because like all of us, we want real world examples of how things are. We don't learn in a box. I don't go online and say, okay, I'm going to read, this SEO blog with the intent of understanding something better. I kind of figure it out as I go through my normal browsing.
Yeah, right. I that makes a lot of sense. It's like a filter, you're filtering everything that you see and that you read through who you are, right? And I think that as a marketing person, that's I think it makes sense in a lot of different ways, whether it's sales or marketing, right? You just continually, the stuff that you're taking in is filtered. Yeah, that's great.
Right.
So,
you never take the marketing hat off.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Off.
That's right. Yeah. So just since we're slowly coming to the end of the interview, we just have one more thing to settle, and that's our rapid fire section. So we talked about it before the show, and I just have to tell you, it's no mercy now. I know that we're really good friends, but I'm just gonna continue to throw questions at you, and you answer them as quickly and as honestly as possible. How's that sound?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Dennis, what was the last book that you read?
Last book was actually, oh man, that's a good one. It's a good question. There was a couple I was reading simultaneously, but I think it was The Art of War. I went back and read again. So.
All right, not The War of Art, The Art of War. Right, which is also a very good book. What's the single thing that your company is focused on at the moment the most?
We're focused on conversion, taking our marketing and turning it into a sale.
If there were no boundaries in technology, what would be the one thing you want to have fixed for your company today?
Ooh, that's a great one. Let's see. There is a lot of things. I would say the overall, user experience, right? I mean, there's so many cool things you could do if technology was not a limitation.
What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about your company?
Probably if a new initiative was going to work or not. It's always nerve-wracking when you launch it, you get it going, and you don't know if it's going to pan out or not. Luckily, our most recent one did, but it keeps you up at night for a little while until it gets going.
What is the one piece of advice you'd give yourself if you were to restart the company again?
Yeah, that's a good one. I would probably, I put myself a note of a list of mistakes, the do's and don'ts, coming right out of the gate with a product launch, a new product launch. I'd say probably first and foremost of that is, focus early on education. Don't assume that people know what we knew before the launch. People are reading it for the first time, and we could have gotten that done earlier. That kind of hockey stick curve just comes even sooner.
All right, everyone. That was Dennis Boone from HandsFreeHealth.com. Thanks for being on the show today. And I just want to give you the last word. So if someone forgets everything that we talk about, you can sum it up. Or if you feel like there's something that we left out and you would like to talk about, I just want to give you the last word. The floor is yours.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I mean, this was probably entirely forgettable, so I'm going to assume that they're only going to remember what we say here. But that is that, I think we were talking about in the middle here is that, marketing is a kind of an ongoing, constantly evolving, ever growing thing. And, we got to keep our eyes and ears peeled everywhere we are and, put all those new ideas into practice and kind of, see what sticks and see what works.
Great. Dennis, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks a lot.